Good evening. Good evening. What's up, everybody? Yo, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. I know it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute. Welcome, welcome. I missed you guys. I have missed you guys. We are back. We are here. Um, I'm a little excited tonight. I'm a little nervous, which is crazy, but I'm a little excited. I'm a little nervous. Let's go. Y'all have to um give me a second here to make sure everything is up. My girl Corey B, she'll be joining us shortly, but she's a little bit late, and that is okay. So I want to make sure that everything is up. I know my boy Tony's in the background making sure Facebook is running. Make sure Facebook is running. I'm sorry, make sure YouTube is running. Let me share this over just in case. I hope you guys had a great day. I hope you guys had a great day. I had a good day. I had a good day. So, some great positive things are happening. My dad, for those of you who know, my dad was in the hospital, was in ICU for a while, and he is home. Took him home yesterday. So, I am grateful and thankful for that. Grateful and thankful for that. Let me check with Mr. Tony here and make sure we're getting all right. Okay. We're good. We're good. We're good with YouTube, Tony. I think we're good with YouTube. We're good with Facebook. All right, y'all. Let's get this thing popping. Good evening. Welcome. I'm Donna. Welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Platform. Get together, chat. Listen, y'all know I don't care. It doesn't matter what you call it, as long as you are here. That's what I appreciate, as long as you are here. And I see we have some people in the chat on YouTube. Thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening. People on Facebook. So I hope this thing streams over like I needed to, but I'm going to put this up. If you are on YouTube, do me a favor. Do me a favor. Go over to I'm sorry, if you're on Facebook, go over to YouTube for me, please. Please go over to YouTube for me. I want everybody to go over to YouTube where possible. All right? All right. So, listen, again, I'm Donna. Welcome to the Real Life Relationship Growth Platform. I am the creator of this platform. We've been rocking this thing now for about, almost 3 years. Almost 3 years. Something that just kind of took off, and I love it. I enjoy it. So, hey, I kept it going and we're still going strong. So, I know we have been gone for literally a month, y'all. I realized today we have been gone for a month. The holidays came, and like I said, my dad got sick, so that threw me back a little bit. Um, and we've been, preparing me and the crew because it's always a crew hanging with me. I really appreciate it. I call it my rainbow tribe of friends and family that always come and support, either to be on live with me or supporting in the chat, just watching and sharing. So I appreciate that. So, this is what we normally do on Thursdays. This is our 8 o'clock Thursday get together. At the Real Life Relationship Growth, we are here to promote, push, and support healthy, loving relationships. Now, this is the criteria for you to be a part of this family, for you to be a part of the Real Life Relationship Growth family. You ready? You have to be single, dating, courting, married. I'm sorry, y'all. It's been a second. Wait a minute. You have to be single, dating, courting, married, divorced, or widower. That's the criteria for you to be here. And I guarantee, and I guarantee, if you are at least 18, I hope not. But you never know, right? You never know. At least 18, at least 21 and up, this is the place for you, because I guarantee you fell into one of those categories that I just said. Now, we focus on the family as a whole. If this is your first time, being here, coming and being here. This is what our focus. We focus on the family as a whole, but we all know that that dynamic starts with two people, two people, mom and dad, right? Mom and dad. So we want to focus on helping, encouraging those healthy relationships between parents, because that's the beginning of the family network. Because from that, there comes children, and there's the aunts and the uncles and the whole thing, the whole gamut of the family network, right? That is the whole thing. Now, I like to say this. I like to let you all know this. This is something I say, and I'm going to continue to say it in this aspect, right? I am not a relationship expert. I don't claim to be. I don't proclaim to be. I don't have any degrees on the wall that says psychologist, psychiatrist, none of those things. But what I am is a Black woman living in this world, living my life, doing the damn thing, and enjoying myself in the process. I have been through some ups, I have been through some downs, and I'm a big proponent of take what helps you, take what makes you grow, take what feeds into you, and you keep that and you grow from it. All that other stuff, because nonsense in life will come. We live in a world that's full of sin. So life things will happen. But that other stuff, that negative stuff, I throw that stuff away. I throw that stuff away. I don't let it sit here. I don't let it sit here, and I don't let it sit here. I do not. So that's the only thing we promote and we push. Let's take what's positive and what's helpful, because we know life is going to be life. We know things are going to happen. Things are going to happen. Nothing is perfect, but it's all what we put into it. And I always say, it's not what you go through, it's who you are when you come out of it. That's what it is. That's what it is. So, yo, let's get started. Let me get started. Say good evening. So I see some people. Hello, Ace. How are you, sir? T, what's up, my dear? What's up? And everybody in the chat. So let me do this. I gotta bring my people on, y'all, because I could not do this without help. That thing of family and network and togetherness and support. So I used to do this by myself. Like every week it was just me. And I enjoyed it. And we had some good topics, some good shows, some good discussions, right? But I've met a lot of people that have that same level of professionalism that I do. They've lived life and they know some stuff. Now, let me say this. We do have professionals that come on with us, like financial people who are professionals in the area of finance. We do have a family therapist that comes on with us. We do have some people who have professional level things on the wall that say, hey, I went to school for this. I've learned some things and I've gone beyond just the regular. So when those times come and those people come, we bring them on with us, and we want to get those, get those things from people that have those PhDs and those things behind their name. No less, your experience is no less important. All right, let me bring my people on. So again, those of you all who are new here, you're not going to know these people, um, but they have been around for a bit. So I'm going to do just a little intro, because this is a new year. We a new year and we doing new things, taking the old and we focusing on the new, right? So first is my boy Tony. Hey Tony,
Hey Donna, how you doing?
I'm good, my dear. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, it's a new year. It's a new year. So Tony, tell the people just a little bit about you and what why you're here. Like, what connected us.
What connected us is you're an amazing individual, and I know you through church and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw that you were doing your thing, I said I would love to help out in any way I could. And so, as far as my background, I'm a life coach, and I focus on married men who have been divorced. So you can see my little title. It says the Marriage Redeveloper.
Hmm.
So I'm just excited about um, growing relationships, healthy relationships, and I'm excited about this topic that we're going to be talking about today.
All right. Thank you, Tony. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, we've been rocking for a minute. We've been rocking for a minute. So, like I said, y'all, I have a rainbow tribe of friends and family, right? This gentleman right here, man, I could say so much about this man, but he knows, look, when my phone rings and I see his name or when I get a little inbox message, this is my smile developer right here. Hey, Finley.
Hey, how's it going down there?
Good, good, good. Y'all, Finley and I went to high school together. Mannheim, Germany. We are military brats. We are vets. We've been knowing each other for a good minute. For a good minute. How was your day, sir?
My day wasn't bad. Everybody thinks getting ready for this snowstorm, trying to figure out how it's going and trying to see how many days they can get off. Not me, but yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
How was your day?
My day was pretty good. My day was pretty good. Yesterday was a highlight of my year thus far, to be honest. When my dad got out of the hospital. So that was a highlight. But yeah, my day went good. I went out and did a little bit of shopping. It was really time to grocery shop anyway, because it's been a lot going on in my house. Family has been coming in and going out and coming in, and we like food, drinks, like where, like what. So I needed to go shopping today anyway, and I went out. It wasn't that bad, People wasn't out there beating each other up, snatching up toilet paper. It wasn't that type of situation, but it was cool. I never made it to the daycare. I never made it, but they know I love them.
Yeah, I know I'm not. I might starve, but I got enough toilet paper. We're just gonna say that. I'm just gonna say.
Well, you can wrap up in it then. Stay warm. They said warm, right? So you
Yeah,
can wrap
yeah.
up
That's what they said. The Charmin shoot.
in it. Sure. That's what they said. All right, y'all. So just to let y'all know, we have a few more people coming on to join us. Um, my right hand woman, Miss Corey B, she'll be on shortly. I usually start out with her because we do this thing. We say ladies first, and with the gentlemen on the platform, I'm sure they don't mind because they're gentlemen. I'm sure they don't mind. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. I have to shout out my sister, my big sister Claudette. Hey sis. Um, Chick, I called you 3 times today. But so we're gonna get started, and when they come, we'll bring them on in when they come, and we'll do a little introduction. Um, we have our topic tonight. Our topic tonight is communication without connection is a hit or miss. Communication without connection is a hit or miss. I have a video. I don't know. Tony, what you think? Should I hold the video or should we start out with the video?
No, I think start with the video. It's a good starting point.
It's a good starting point. You're right. You're right. All right. So I'm gonna let y'all know now. One thing I have not figured out is how to change the orientation back and back. So the gentleman's head is going to be cut off. Don't worry about seeing his face. Just listen to his words, all right? Just listen to his words.
Everybody says communication is the key, but what good is talking if neither one of you understands the language? You can communicate all day long, but without comprehension, it's just noise bouncing off 2 walls of pride. Because comprehension is where love actually breathes. It's the part that says, I hear you, but more than that, I understand you. Relationships don't fall apart because love just disappears one day. They fall apart because comprehension does. Because one person keeps shouting their truth while the other keeps defending their ego. Love is not about who talks louder. It's about who listens deeper. It's being able to sit in the tension without needing to win. It's realizing that sometimes your wrong is just your hurt talking louder than your heart. Communication will tell you what happened, but comprehension will tell you why. And you cannot heal what you refuse to understand. You want your relationship to grow? You gotta stop listening to reply and start listening to reflect. Because sometimes the point isn't to fix your partner, it's to finally see them, to understand the story behind the behavior, to realize they're not crazy, they're triggered. They're not distant, they're protecting something they've never felt safe enough to share. The truth is, love only works when both people are willing to unlearn themselves. When both hearts care more about understanding each other than being right about everything. When I get you becomes louder than you don't get me. You can't build intimacy without comprehension, because comprehension is what softens communication into connection, and that's where peace lives, not in the talking, but in the understanding. So, yes, talk it out, but don't just communicate, comprehend, because communication without comprehension is like a GPS with no destination. You'll keep going in circles thinking you're making progress when all you're really doing is proving your point and losing your person at the same time.
Ooh, yeah, that was good. That was good. I'm always searching for videos and information that can kind of bring home a point that can kind of help us to, kind of come into this point. Um, and I found that one early, and I thought that was really, really good. Thought that was really, really good. Um, so I want to kind of start this out. You know what? Let's wait a little bit. We're gonna wait a little bit on that question because Tony, we talked a little bit earlier about posing a question.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to wait just a little bit to pose the question. I want to read something. I was looking some things up, and I like to, anytime we do a topic, to make sure I do my homework and make sure I get some information outside of just my experience and what I know, right? And what I may think I know. So I looked this up, and I got two definitions. One is for communication, the other one is for connection, right? So the definition for communication that I found, communication is exchanging of information processed in the frontal lobe. It's processed in the frontal lobe. Exchanging of information. Connection is a feeling of understanding, being heard, being seen, being valued, and is processed in the insular cortex, which is the back of the brain, the back of the brain. Um, I thought that was real interesting. I mean, I listened, and thank you for tonight's topic. Came from Tony. Thank you, Tony.
You're
Um,
welcome.
and I wanted to say this, we're in a new year. We always have these things when the new year come. People have these resolutions, and they talk about getting healthier and going to the gym and doing this and doing that, right? Um, and I think we forget sometimes that our connections and how we communicate communicate with one another are very, very important. So I love that Tony threw this topic out. I love that it kind of coincides to coming into 2026, although I know we've been here for a month and almost some change. Um, but I just want to challenge everyone to think more about your mental than your physical, because when that mental is intact, everything else falls together. It comes together. Think about your mental, and with that mental, we have to deal with one another. So I love this. I love this. I love this. All right. All right. I see Mr. Kendrick. Let's get Kendrick in the room. Hey, Kendrick. All
Hey,
right.
Kendra.
Good to go? Okay. All right. Okay. So those two definitions, communication and connection. Communication, an exchange of information. Connection, a feeling of being understood, a feeling of understanding, being heard, being seen, being valued. Those things. Um, Tony, can you go ahead and pose that question to everybody? I like how you articulated that. Can you go ahead and pose that question?
Right. So just before I pose that question, if you remember the video, the gentleman that was speaking in the beginning, those two definitions that Donna just spoke of basically is exactly what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
He's saying is communication is talking words, communicating thoughts, but not necessarily there's no comprehension, there's no understanding, there's no connection.
Mm-hmm.
So the question that I have for everyone, including the folks in the chat room, is can you give me an example of when you want to connect with somebody? Give me one example of what you do. What is it something you say? Is it something you do? Let us know. Give us one example, and then we'll hear from everybody, including the folks in the chat room, and then we'll just get this discussion going.
Okay. So an example, I'm doing Corey's job for a second. Let me type this in. Give an example of how, repeat that, Tony.
Of when you want to connect with somebody, how do you do that? What is one thing that you use that is effective and works for you? And share it with us.
Okay. All right. So Kendrick is finishing up his his snack. All right.
I got these grapes. These grapes are delicious.
All right. Go get it with the grapes. Get it with the grapes. So Finley, so I guess we're gonna start with you, sir. You said, what can you give us an example, Finley, of how you connect, what you do to connect with someone when you want to communicate, connect with them?
So, interesting thing. I was looking up stuff right over here at the same time. I was looking up communication, listening versus communication versus comprehension and connection.
Mm.
And one of the things that I thought that was interesting is it said, sorry, y'all. Comprehension requires processing and understanding, and the connection requires empathy, feeling like, I guess, from the other person. When I grew up, the teacher broke down. One of the teachers told me that I had so much information in my head and I didn't know how to transfer it to other people. So one of my biggest problems is when I do talk to somebody, I don't want them to agree with me. I just wonder if they understand what I'm saying. So when I'm like, do you understand what I'm saying? It's not me saying, are you stupid? It's like, am I saying it right? So some people get, like when I was dating before, people are like, well, you just think that I'm stupid. And I'm thinking, no, actually, I think I am. I'm wondering if I'm conveying it correctly. As far as like on a friendship level, there are some friends that know how I am. I'm like, I'm not diagnosed with it, but I will start on one topic, go to another one, go around the world and come back. And with those, there's some people that understand, but those are friends. In a relationship, people think I'm avoiding topics. When I was younger, I could come back to the topic, Now it's like a dangling web. I just stop, and they're like, "Well, where were you going with this?" And I'm like, "I don't know." I think that when I talk as far as in a relationship, I it's harder for me because I try to stay on track. I try to stay on track, and when I'm talking with somebody, it comes off like I said, that some people think, hey, you're belittling me, and I'm thinking, no, am I saying this correctly where you understand, where you don't have to misinterpret? And sometimes I think when I talk to people, it's like when you have that person who always begs you for money, you're just waiting for them to say something. You're like, oh, here it goes. When I'm talking to somebody, sometimes they're thinking that I'm trying to say something negative because of how I talk, and it's not. It's me trying to convey what I'm thinking, and so that's a totally different subject than when I'm dealing with friends. So
Mm-hmm.
one of my hardest things. It's not me wanting you to know. It's not me wanting you to feel what I'm feeling. It's me trying to get you to understand where I'm coming from.
I understand where you're coming from.
Right.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Great.
Yeah. All right, Kendrick.
Did you understand? I'm sorry.
Yeah. I understood you, Lindsay. Yeah. Um, for me, it's I just have a limo company, so I kind of learned the art of conversation where I can talk about many different topics and make people feel good with my tone and the words that I use. But depending on the venue, a big smile, looking somebody in the eyes and saying something funny. You know,
Mhm,
um, one of my gifts is a little bit of comedy. I'm
mhm,
good at making people laugh from time to time. That usually loosens people up and makes them think, because I'm a bigger guy, and sometimes maybe I look a little unfriendly or what have it. But once I open my mouth and I start speaking and smiling, that's how I usually try to form the beginnings of connection. Now, if we at the right place, I love to take a young lady on the dance floor and spin her around a few times. Having some good dance moves, can create a connection as well.
mhm,
So trying to make them comfortable and feel like, okay, this person is safe. That's the beginning, I would say. After that, it's kind of a two-way street. It has to be mutual.
mhm, mhm.
Is how I look at it.
Okay. Okay. And since Tony posed the question, I'm gonna go next and let Tony have his answer. But before I go, we have some people in the chat who are answering. So let's put theirs up. Okay. Okay. All right. The mouth 4623. I personally know that is Mr. Delano. That's Mr. Delano. All right. He said, I believe in listening, but also creating a funny, comfortable space to share light conversations to build a foundation for the deeper, more intimate conversations. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell y'all, since I'm the only lady on here right now, the brothers mentioned some comedy. The brothers mentioned some comedy, and that's always a plus for the ladies. If y'all can make us laugh, I'm telling y'all, if you can make us laugh and to get a little bit of attention, you can make us laugh. So I'm going to say mind. My example of how I connect with people. I love complimenting people. I love finding something about them that makes them blush, that makes them smile, that makes them, kind of feel good about themselves. And that's man or woman, boy or girl, it doesn't matter. Um, um, when it's dealing with a man, that's a different flirtation factor. But as a whole, it's pointing something out about someone. Um, and I try to look for things that aren't like the obvious. Just got your hair done. Oh, girl, your hair is cute. That looks good. No, I want to point something else out, to kind of pull out of that. So that's pretty much how I do it. Um, when I try to connect with someone, I look for something about them, or maybe something I heard about them, to pull out and be positive. Positive. Tony, you got a shout out.
Yeah, I see that, Jonathan. Jonathan, man. Good to see you, man.
Okay, Tony, what's yours? What you think?
So I'm gonna bring in temperament. So people have different temperaments, and my wife, I'm going to use my wife as an example. She's highly introverted, so she's gonna be more like most of the guys in the group. You know, in most guys, she's gonna be more like most guys, and I'm highly extroverted. So I'm a talker. I get energy from people. My wife is the opposite. So one thing that I've learned is in trying to connect with somebody, you really have to make it about them. So I try to communicate with my wife the way I like to be communicated to, which is like Finley. I'll be all over the place, jumping back and forth and have 5 conversations going on at the same time. That's not going to work for my wife. So what I do is I have learned her language, which is introverted. It's more you speak, you stop, you let the other person speak, you don't talk over each other, and that sort of thing. So that when I'm trying to connect with my wife and get something across to her, then I have to choose. I have to meet her where she is, not where I am.
That's good. That's good. Because a lot of times, we kind of think it's about us. Like I want them to hear me. I want them to understand me. But I like that. I like that. I think all of us in our statements, kind of focus on that. At least, Finley was saying, I need you to know that it's not you, it's me. So I want to make sure you understand me by, I want to make sure you're clear on me. So yeah, I like that. I like that.
So yesterday, what happened was I was having a conversation and I was getting out my car and it turned into like, ooh, look, a little shiny thing. And she's talking to me, who I'm seeing, was talking to me about something deep. And she took a breath. And it's almost like that person who took it. I'm like, oh, look, this happened. And they're like, oh, so it didn't matter basically what I'm talking about. I'm like, oh shit, I messed that up. But it's just that's like most of the people I deal with. And I talk to men, not in relationship wise, but I talk to men. And it usually revolves around sports. And if I talk about, hey, I like going to like the ballet or orchestra, men kind of look at me like I'm crazy. Like, what do you want to see them for? So I talk to a lot of women because there's different top conversation. And when there's no relationship portion and they know there's not, you talk about anything almost, And so in a relationship wise, I'm like, Tony, gotta focus. I gotta focus. And my problem is I have like a Duracell battery. When it goes down, I don't have much to say. I'm just looking at you. We're just both looking at each other. That's an odd time. We're just going, yep. Sorry.
Somebody needs to say something.
Yeah. Somebody has to say something. Somebody has to say something. So some examples that I found, you all, in going over this and looking at it. It says communication. Communication would be, I'm sending you a text and I send Kendrick a text and I was like, I love you. I love you, Kendrick. I do. Send Kendrick a text and say, I love you. But connection would be me calling Kendrick and him hearing the tone of my voice, him hearing me saying, I love you. And even further than that, seeing my body language when we see each other, I walk in and the body language and running up and giving a big hug and rubbing the back of that yeah.
Throw off. So connection is more than it's when you're using several different senses versus just having a conversation. You just more. I'm trying to understand what you're getting at, far as like you said, not just texting, but actually having a conversation.
So let me go a little further. So communication is sending you a text saying I love you, right?
Hmm.
Loving you is great. But when I say it to you and you see my body language and you feel me wrap my arms around you, that's a connection. It's different. You're getting all those senses. So yes, I'm glad you said senses. You're getting all those senses. It also said communication is what I dealt. Connection is what I felt. Communication is just what I dealt to you, what I gave.
So,
Right?
so let me give another example. If I
Mhm.
say to my wife, "I love you," and she says back to me, "You say that all the time." I mean, people say that all the time. What's so like what's so big about that? I mean, that's not special. Basically,
Mhm.
she's telling me that I'm not really connected to her because I'm just using words that everybody uses and they're not directed at her. So for my wife, when I say I love you, I've got so many boo. I mean, I got so many nicknames for that girl. But when I add that nickname, when I add that pet name, then she knows I'm talking about her. And then she feels more connected and she's feeling it. So I guess
Mhm.
connection is about, am I feeling you? You want to convey a message to me, but if I'm not feeling you, I'm probably not even listening. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm hearing words, but I'm not listening to understand. I'm not listening to really get anything out of it because you haven't taken any time to connect with me.
Mhm. 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 Okay. So Kevin Kev. Y'all know I gotta give shout out to Kevin. Gotta give a shout out to Kevin. I gotta let y'all know in YouTube land and in Facebook world, Kevin has been rocking with the real life relationship growth since day one. Day one. So I truly, truly appreciate him. Kevin said communication requires a certain level of selflessness and listening to understand. And listening to understand. We always hear all the time communication is key. Communication is key. You communicate with your person, you good, you communicate. Communication could be communication is like I said, it's an exchange of information. You can communicate to somebody that they getting on your nerves. You can communicate to somebody by cursing them out. I'm communicating to you. I'm giving you some information. But if I want to connect to you, like Kendrick mentioned, I need to go into those senses. You know, we have senses. We have touch, feel, taste, and we need to go into those senses where we really, really connect with somebody. Cause you're right. Saying I love you come a dime a dozen. Y'all know me. I'm pretty transparent, right? I don't mind saying. I get y'all. And my brothers on here, y'all understand me because I know y'all love me. Y'all get where I'm coming from. I get all the time, Donna, how fine you are. I get all the time, Donna, you gorgeous. I get all the time, that body. I get all the time. And this is not boasting or bragging. But the brother that's gonna stand out is gonna get that says it's more than just words. It's connecting to those senses. And I can guarantee you, sirs, that is most women, if not all. That is most women, if not all. And I'm not taking away from y'all. I know y'all want to not only hear it, y'all want to feel it as well. So this is a roundabout thing. But that connection, I'm gonna tell y'all, I got some flowers today. I got some flowers, some roses, and a balloon today. I had no clue who they came from. I had no clue. I got a call from the daycare, and Miss Leia was like, "Who is such and such?" I ain't gonna say the name. And I was like, but the way it made me feel, That that connection, it honed in more than just saying, giving me an inbox saying, Donna, you fine. That brother went a step further, and some roses and a balloon came to my door.
Mm.
That's making a connection. So, and we all need that. We all need that. We can even talk about, how we discipline or talk to or deal with our children. You know, how we do that with them. We can communicate. I want you to clean that room, but putting a belt on them is connection. If they, I'm playing, that's connection. No, that's
No, no,
connection.
I wanna jump in because I
Uh-huh.
have I have two older sons, and one I can talk to. I can ask him to do something. He's going to do it.
Mm.
My second son, I learned when he was younger that I had to touch him. I had to
Mm-hmm.
touch him. I had to put my hand on his shoulder. I
Mm-hmm.
had to grab his arm gently. And when I did that and told him what I wanted him to do, that was the connection. There needed to
Mm-hmm.
be a connection with him that was physical for him to hear what I was saying. And I mean, it just changed my whole world with him.
I love that.
But
Yeah.
so the point is, if I want to communicate or connect with you, whether it's my wife, my children, my friend, coworker, wouldn't this be a great question to ask? How do you prefer to be talked to? How do you prefer to be communicated with? And then they tell you. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you communicate with them, that's how you communicate. Not the way you prefer, not the way you want to, but you're making a connection because now they feel important. Oh, this guy's really serious. The trust level goes up. Um, and then that way they're more likely to listen to what you're saying versus just blurting out a bunch of information.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm glad you said that because that was one of the points, another point that I wrote down. It said communication is making a statement. Connection is asking a question.
Mm,
I love that. When I was like, oh, I love that.
You
Communication
know,
is making a statement. A connection is asking a question. Asking a question. Isn't it funny how, excuse me, the simplest things can make relationships better? Like, can make relating to a person better. Tony, I really appreciate this topic. I really, really do. I really, really do. We needed a fresh start in different areas in different places. And like I said, we focus so much on saying communication is key. Communication is key. Communicate. Tell somebody what you want. Tell somebody what you need. But what connection falls into is, like Kevin said, that selflessness.
hmm
It takes you away from focusing on yourself and focusing on that other person and what they need, whether it be a person or, I have to take this thing into my thought with work. Excuse me, with the daycare. So, and anybody who's in a position where they deal with a team of people, you know, to communicate to the staff what I need them to do, but to focus on their talents and their gifts and pulling that out, you know, and commending them on how they did this or how they did that. It you can't have a better environment. You can't have a
Right,
better
right,
situation.
right. Kevin in the chat, he said the same thing. This is
Hmm.
what he said. He says communication doesn't require intention. Connection does.
Mm.
Actions usually follow when connection is involved, which is
Read,
which is the same thing we're all saying.
yeah, read that again. Read
Word.
that again, please, Tony. Read that again.
Kevin said communication doesn't require intention.
Intention.
connection does.
Ooh.
Actions usually follow when connection is involved.
I
So
like
when we're
that.
talking about relationships, we're not talking about just talking to each other. We're choosing to have a relationship. So that's deeper than just talking to someone on the street and communicating words or desires or whatever. So real life relationship growth. We're talking about growth. How are we going to grow in 2026 if we don't understand that we need to be better connectors?
Better connectors. All right, y'all. Hold 1 second because my girl is in the building. Miss Corey V.
Hey, Corey.
Hey, I'm sorry I'm late. I was having connection issues. I really was.
and she communicated that with me, and I was like, "Girl, you can do it. Just hit the button again. I believe in you."
Oh man.
Oh, what's up, sis?
Oh, everything's good. I was listening to y'all on YouTube on my phone when I'm trying to connect on the laptop, and I was like, "Oh, that's a good one. How do I do this? Oh man, y'all getting it now."
All right. Well, we gonna hit you. You look, you not new to this. You true to this, so we gonna hit you with that question.
Okay.
Tony, hit Miss Corey with that question that we started out with.
The question is, when you choose to connect with somebody, what is something that you do to connect with them? What works for you?
Serving them. So I think that you learn a lot about yourself and how you feel about this person through service, and it doesn't have to be, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, because that's not necessarily it. Though I'm good at cooking, and he likes my cooking. Um, yes, he does. But I think that just being there, you know, I don't know. Let's just say he was sick, for example. You know, going and grabbing some soup or making him a hot toddy or something like that. It's another way of service and connecting. And the way that person responds to your service also lets you know a lot about them. So, yeah, for me, it's service. That's one way.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. We all in good company. Cause yeah, we all in good company. We are all in good company. I love it. Tony, you had a book that you had shown us. Can you share that?
Right. So I'm currently studying with a couple of groups of men. It's a book by John Maxwell. The title is "Everyone Communicates, Few Connect." I don't know if this is going to show up, if it'll show up well, but
No.
not,
Yeah.
not really.
Let me see.
But again, everyone communicates, few connect, and it has a little subtitle: "What the Most Effective People Do Differently."
Okay.
So everyone communicates. We're always talking. We're communicating here, but are we really connecting with one another? Are we connecting with the folks in the chat, the people that are listening to us? The better off we connect with them, the more likely they're going to listen to what we have to say. So service again is focusing on the other person. You're focusing on the other person, and once they're in that place of connection, then Corey B can probably just about ask for anything she wants, and she'll get it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am trying to add the book. Tony, you may have to type it in the chat.
Yeah, so John Maxwell is the author, Now, granted, the book's focus is more on speaking. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
speaking to individuals, speaking to groups, small groups, and then speaking to audiences. But it's related. It's so relatable to relationships, all of our relationships. So I'll type it up in the YouTube chat.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, it is relatable because a lot of things, a lot of stuff that I came across when I was, looking up different information, um, it kind of focused on that, Tony. A lot of stuff that popped up, and I had to get more specific in my search. Um, but like you said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It relates across the spectrum of everything. I mentioned with work. Corey, I'm sure you can relate this to your classroom when you're dealing with students, trying to connect with them.
Mhm.
And our in-house comedians, Finley and Kendrick, how you connect. I'm sure, we can all use this. Um, but when it comes down to those romantic relationships, when it comes down, thank you, Tony, those romantic relationships, and not just romantic relationships. We talked about, like we said, we talked about the fullness of everything. Communicating with your parents, communicating with your children, and things like that. So we always have to look at the other side of the spectrum, right? Because we want to pull something out that we can use and go with. Um, so say we're communicating with someone, we're trying to connect, and their response isn't so positive. And their response isn't so positive. And sometimes we kind of feed off of each other's energy. I've learned not to do that. You got to be who you are regardless. Um, and sometimes it's easy because what Michelle Obama say?
When they go low, you
We
go
go
high.
high.
Some of us be like, when they go low, I'm gonna go lower.
Lower.
Take that to the gutter.
Yes. Yes. So how do we deal, y'all, when we want to go to the gutter? When we gonna go to the gutter? How do anybody can take that one? How do we make this communication thing? How do we connect? How do we connect to someone that has gone to the gutter?
Hmm.
I
Let,
I
let,
just leave them alone. Unless I have to deal with them, I leave them alone because it puts me in a bad space.
mm-hmm.
Oh, and I just at this part of my life, unless you're somebody special to me or we have a long thing, I just like, well, you got it. I just hit the door and I
Mm-hmm.
stay I stay out of their way. I don't like being in nobody's face that I really don't like. I'll be polite, but I'm not gonna be sitting there chopping it up with you if I know if I know you ain't shit or you just be talking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-mm, you know, protect your peace at all times.
Mm.
How I feel about it.
Mm.
So
Okay.
the one thing I would say is you're probably not speaking their language. Like the video said, you're speaking a language, but it definitely ain't their language.
Mm-hmm.
And so the only way you're going to be able to connect is ask what hey, I see this ain't really working. Is there some different? Can I connect with you differently? Can I communicate differently with you? Am I
Mm-hmm.
coming across wrong? Because that's not my intention. Asking questions and having them. Now, if they come back and they don't give you any answers or they don't care, then like Kendrick says, you just move on, walk away, diffuse the situation. But that's my challenge. My challenge in 2026 is not necessarily. I feel I'm a pretty good connector, but how do you connect to people that just don't get you? Like your personalities rub wrong. They don't like the way you look.
Mm.
Maybe they don't like dudes with beards. I don't glasses.
I'll,
I'm
I'll
not
say
dressed
in a
right.
yeah, I'll say in the professional arena,
Why are you
yeah,
profiling?
and in a professional arena, Um, I'm a property adjuster, so I deal when people's houses are damaged. I go in and talk to them, and sometimes I have some rough customers because they just assume I'm trying to cheat them, and I get a bonus if I don't write a roof for them and all this type of stuff. So I do what I do with them. I just say, hey, I'm going to listen to you, and this is what I'm going to do. And I just try to talk calmly as I can. And sometimes it works. You know, they come back and be like, you know what, I want to apologize, or dang, you did, you know what I'm saying? You did a good job. I said, man, I'm going to call you back. But
Mm-hmm.
I set a realistic expectation for them. But you know, that's on a different type of thing when you're talking about relationship type thing. Now we're in
Mm-hmm.
relationship mode, or we're just in everyday life mode.
No. So Kendrick, I'm a warranty tech, so I deal with homeowners every day.
Mhm.
One of the first things I do when I go in somebody's house is I'm looking at what they have hanging on the wall. I'm looking at their license plate on their car. Are they a veteran? Because I'm a veteran. Okay. Are they Christian? You know, are they what are they? And I'll tell you a kind of an interesting story. I went into one lady's house and I noticed that she had a bunch of elephants in her house. And I simply said, "Are you a Delta?" And that lady like almost freaked out. She said to her mother, "What?" She almost said, "What is this white boy asking me? I'm a Delta." And she said, and she then came back and she said, "Yes. How did you know?" And I said, "Well, my wife's a Delta." So now I'm this, and I'm just gonna go there. I'm this
Yeah, go there.
white redneck looking dude coming into a black family's house. They think I'm going to tell them what I'm not going to do, what they're not going to get. And now I instantly took all that away because now, most likely, if they're sharp, they're going to say, "Oh, you married to a." So the next question is,
Yeah.
"Oh, you married to a black?"
Yeah.
And their whole demeanor changes. See, I just made a connection.
You connected. Yeah.
So now when I tell them, hey, you know, that's not a warrantable thing. We can't, you know, we're not going to do anything. It goes over a little bit easier because at least we have a connection, and and a little bit of trust is built through that connection.
Yeah, I love that. I love that connecting. Miss Corey, can you read what Kevin said?
In the midst of conversation and the body language that follows determines if a true connection will be pursued. Okay. Yeah, that's it.
So
Read
in a
again.
personal
Yeah.
relationship,
Read it
in a
again.
more personal relationship.
In the midst of conversation and the body language that follows, this determines if a true connection will be pursued.
Conversation and the body language. Yep. Okay. I get it. I get it. Mr. Finley.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just making sure you wasn't frozen. Like you.
No. Oh, you got
Breathe,
jokes.
Finley,
Huh?
breathe.
The way he was like, yes.
No. Oh, right here hiding everything. I'm right
Like
here.
somebody
I'm
says, paying
free.
attention.
He's focused.
He's still
I'm
there.
listening. I'm connecting.
He is focused.
I might
He
not
is
be communicating, but I'm listening.
Well, how can we connect with you, Finley? What can we do right now?
Oh, I'm enjoying all this. It's very interesting. I think that I've learned a lot from all of you. Don't ask me to give per each person's name that said something, but I will tell you, a lot of people on here have talked about communication and connection, about how they would deal with, especially with negative people. What y'all been kind of talking about right now, and that's been kind of interesting. Like I said in the private chat, I am so glad I don't have to do customer service anymore, because I only got like 2 cells. I don't have a whole full deck. I'm only going to deal with so many people. And I've actually, I've been in some places where I just walk out and leave. It's not that I don't like you. It's just I don't want to be bothered anymore. You know, I guess that's the equivalent. I miss when you used to be able to hang up the phone and people would hear the dial tone. You don't get to do that part. But when y'all were talking about going low or going high, it depends upon how I feel about a person. Sometimes I just be thinking some devious shit, and it's just horrible. So I wasn't the right one to talk on that one. So I just stayed froze over here. But yeah, you know,
I appreciate your honesty.
you know, but like in the relationship I've been in, there was times I was like, okay, you know, my parents would tell you in a heartbeat, wow, you've been with somebody this long, because you usually be like, you know, I think we need to talk. we have to talk. But the connection has been the part that's kept us together, as opposed to the communication, which has to draw better. You know, and I think that sometimes, you know, like I was talking about on the shows that, you know, like the Pop the Balloon, people talk about that connection, but they don't know why, and they don't explore it or know what the connection is. But I think that other part is the communication and listening that really is something that's really, yeah. What did I? I was like, shit, I done messed up all this time. I was about to bring him to the cookout.
Yo, Tony can come to the cookout.
I'm just joking. He knows I was just joking.
I know.
It's gonna be more than just salt. But
I am light-skinned.
Y'all done stop me. You remember I told you I'm like an ADD person. I'm about to go on to.
Oh, sorry. We threw him off. Sorry.
But no, I think that sometimes when you have that connection, don't explore it and try to figure out the rest of it. That connection can go a different direction.
Yeah, it can. Tony made a great point though when he said talking, that it's almost like understanding that person's love language, right? And dealing with them there. Understanding, because I'm gonna go back, take the example of work. I can talk to Miss Leia, who is like my right hand at the daycare. I can talk to her straight up, straightforward. Look, listen, and she like, I got you. I heard you. If I talk to Miss Michelle, who has been there just as long, it's almost like, so I have to realize if I'm gonna connect with Michelle, I have to talk to her different and come where I know she is. Then I talk to Leia. And at the same time, you know, it's not just about pleasing and appeasing people, because that sounds like what it is a little bit, you know, and not when we talk about in a relationship aspect, that happy wife, happy life thing. Nah, happy house, happy spouse. And this is a part of that happy house, happy spouse. I want to communicate with you, but I want to connect so you can hear me, baby. I don't like when you do that. But when I do this, is that all right with you? Do you like, y'all know my brain. Y'all know I'm going to always go there. So, in order to connect, that connection and communicating that, it works with everything. It works with everything, hand in hand. Miss Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, baby, I gotta get on you because you was a little late.
Yes, I was.
That's all right. I read two definitions at the beginning, and I put the video in the chat. So, did you get a chance to watch that video?
No.
Yeah, I want you to check it out because
Okay.
it was real good. It was real good.
Yeah, it was
So,
great.
I want to read the definitions again. Communication is just an exchange of information processed in the frontal lobe. Connection is a feeling of understanding, being understood, being heard, being seen, being valued, and that's processed in the back, back brain. So communication and connection. What's your thoughts of communication versus connection? Have you had a chance to kind of Like let that soak and process those two.
I've got some thoughts. I don't know if it's going to be coherent because but let me throw them out there.
Mm-hmm.
Communication is when, for example, I'm talking to someone. Let's say I'm asking, "Hey, can you put those sheets on the bed?" Connection, connection is looking at that person and looking at the bed, and they know exactly what I mean. It can be nonverbal. They know me and know exactly what I mean. For somebody else, for example, I know you guys saw you may have seen videos where someone's like, "I told my son to put the sheets on the bed." She comes home and sees the sheets literally laying on the bed.
On the bed.
He did what she told him to do, right?
Yeah.
But but the connection is when I say it, you know exactly what I mean because you know me.
Mm.
You know me. I
Mm.
can say, "Oh man, I don't feel so good." But you know that, listen, I don't fool with these people. I'm ready to go. Let's get up out of here immediately, post haste. Like, you know what I mean? The connection makes what you're saying.
Different.
That's another level to it. I get it though.
You know what I mean? It makes what you're communicating specific to you, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense?
I grabbed that almost immediately. I don't know if the brothers grabbed that. Brother, did y'all grab
We're not
that?
that slow. I figured out what she was saying. She was talking about it enhances it. It just kind of makes it more specific, like she said. Did y'all get that too, guys? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got it.
No, but seriously,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. That was a different level, Corey. See?
Okay.
So one could argue that connection is she doesn't have to tell anyone to put the sheets on the bed.
Mm.
I mean that's real connection.
Yeah.
Like I know my wife wants the bed made up. It don't make no sense to me. I'm just gonna get back in the bed. Let the bed breathe a little bit. I mean, come on, why we gotta make it up?
Oh, yeah.
But I know she wants that bed made, so I'm the last one out. The bed gets made.
Mm.
She don't have to. She don't have to ask.
that's reason he be trying to beat her out the bed.
I can't. I can't. She gets up at 3:30 in the morning, man.
Ooh, wow.
I ain't doing that.
Wow.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I make up the bed.
You know that what he just wrote down about we live in a digital age and really have gotten lazy with communication. I've seen people at dining. I've gone out and I watch people. I have a tendency of staring at the stop, but watching people texting other people while they're eating, and I'm just like, wow. I mean, and they're not saying a word. It'd be different if they're taking some, a little phone call or something, but they're literally just texting the whole time, waiting for food and not having a date. I just don't understand it.
Yeah.
I have text before, but I'm still talking. But I put it to the side like it has to be something quick. But when it's a whole conversation like that, and then they're like, "Thanks for the date. It was great." I'm going, "What date?"
How?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
And I've
think
seen
that's
that.
rude.
And it's
Yeah.
funny because sometimes you see people out and they're texting each other.
Yeah,
They're not talking to each other, but they're literally messaging the people at the table.
At the
like they're
table.
deaf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nah,
Now
I
there's
put mine
yeah,
away.
now there's a time to do that. You can have some fun with that. But
Mhm.
on a whole,
Mhm.
yeah, that's crazy to me. If you have to take a call or check a text or whatever, I'm in the habit of being like, I'm sorry, excuse me, I need to, you know,
But see, I think that's
kind
the.
of
I'm sorry.
no,
I
go
think
ahead.
that's what made it so special. Like in the 80s and 90s, when we used to have the three-way calls and everything, you had to talk to somebody. You
Yeah.
didn't have that computer. It wasn't because when you're texting somebody, they can take it any type of way their day is going.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah, there's no tone.
There's no
It's
tone.
called tone. They
yeah.
can add whatever tone they feel.
And when you're talking to somebody, the inflection and everything else, just like how one of the people said, body language, inflection, everything, it brings that connection to people.
It brings that connection. I love it because that's one of the things that I wrote down. and taking my notes. It said communication is a text.
Mm-hmm.
Connection is a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Is a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me personally, I don't want to be texting for days and weeks. And
Absolutely not.
once we
What are
get
we
that
doing here?
initial text out of the way, and because we're in the land of DMs and stuff like that, after that, if you're not calling, you can forget it. If you ask me for my number,
No,
yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna jump in. All right. When I'm at work, you better text me.
Right.
You better text me. Now I deal with homeowners. I talk on the phone for 2 hours, and then I still gotta write it what the conversation was about, because it's important to put things in writing. So for me, I'm married to a highly introverted person. She doesn't speak much. When she does speak, it's going to be very direct. So again, you have to learn how people communicate. I'm not saying that texting constantly on a date, that's a great thing.
Right.
What that tells me is maybe the person is introverted.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to have to speak introvert language, not try to have a big long conversation if they don't want to talk.
Yeah. I definitely think
so you have to find out what works.
Yeah, I definitely think it's different levels, because I wish a Negro would when we on a date. I wish.
Yes.
Well, how about you're on a date and the only thing they talk about is themselves?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely not.
that's definitely, there's no connection.
So that's communicating.
It is communicating,
but that's not connecting.
but it's not connection. Like, like what are we on this date for? Like, who you could have stayed at home and ate by yourself if you just
I'm telling you about me. Don't you want to get to know me?
Right.
So I'm telling you about me. But if you're not curious about the other person, why are you on the date? Like, again, that's a red flag maybe for somebody. But maybe for somebody else, they're a listener and thank you for sharing all that information. Now I know you're not the one, and I can move on.
Yes, thank you for giving me all of that in this hour. You shorten this up. Appreciate that. I appreciate that. All right, y'all. So I say this was a great first one for the year for the Real Life Relationship Growth family.
I agree.
I say this was a great one to start out with. Communication without connection is a hit or miss. Hit or miss. So, like we normally do here, we want to tie this thing up and wrap this thing up. I like to make sure if anyone has anything that they want to share at the end, anything that you heard that maybe change your perspective on something, or just helped in some type of way, or you want to give something. So before we wrap this up, we're gonna ask those questions. Anything, Mr. Kendrick, you wanna close with?
No, I just trying to make that connection, and with somebody meaningful, just something I got to think a little bit more these days, versus that communication. Pick up the phone, try to meet up with them face to face, so you can use all your senses.
Ooh, all your senses. Yes, sir. All right, Mr. Finley, what you think?
I think that topic that you said, communication without connection, is a hit or miss. I think it could go both ways. Connection without communication is a hit or miss as well. Because people can actually have that connection, but because you don't understand that person, it just kind of flings. So I think they work hand in hand. I also think that the conversation was awesome because people use the term a lot of times and don't even know what they're using, what it actually means, because it goes deeper. You can dive into something even more deeper, like communication, listening, all these go hand in hand to make you a stronger person with someone, whether it be your friendships, relationship as far as family, and regular relationships as far as your loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mean to bore you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's all right.
Mr. Sylvester.
Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing?
Good evening, Sylvester.
Excellent, Sylvester.
Good, good.
I
I
know
just
you.
popped in for a little bit. You know, I'm out here hustling and working,
Yeah,
grinding. So I just wanted to see what was going on with everybody.
yeah. Well,
Hey.
I always appreciate that. We know you working, but you always take the time to pop in. So thank you, thank you.
Well, absolutely. Coming from this beautiful weather down here, coming back to that storm, but it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Corey got the face. Yeah, Corey, we supposed to have a storm down here. He coming from Florida. So
It was 78 degrees down
right,
here today.
right, Corey, I
Was
get it.
there a need to even say that, brother? You know, it was 19 yesterday.
19,
19.
19 degrees.
19.
He's trying to connect with us.
No, he's communicating.
Finley, you saw that, right? I saw that too. Finley is hilarious. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sylvester, I know you just popped on. Were you listening in, or you just had a
No,
chance to?
no, I just popped on. I just popped on, and I remember what the topic was. So I was just going to listen and try to catch up and see where you guys were within the topic.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we at the end, babe.
Oh wow. Oh,
So Donna, can we ask him that question? Can we
Yeah,
get that since
yeah.
he's here? Since he's here.
Most definitely,
Oh,
most definitely. I was going to suggest that, so I appreciate that, Tony.
all
So
right.
we got a question for you, Sylvester. We're talking about, of course, the communication without connection is a hit or miss. Go ahead, Tony.
So Sylvester, when you want to connect with somebody, give us an example of what you do. What is something that you do that works well that we can maybe put in our toolbox and use when we're trying to connect with
um,
the teacher?
I just use direct conversation, whether it be personally or by text. I just let that person know that I'm interested, and we just kind of move on from there, whether it be continuing to talk on the telephone or setting up a date or what have you. But for the most part, is direct conversation. There's no beating around the bush. I mean, you just let that person know that you are interested, and if they're interested, you kind of move forward from there.
Okay, okay,
Awesome.
okay. Yeah, being direct, being direct. Yeah, directness is a good thing too. Not beating around the bush, reading the room and knowing, hey, let me how I'm going to be direct. How I'm gonna-
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and it could be again like a lot of you may be in a couple of different settings, but whatever setting you're in, I mean, outside of just telling that person that, hey, I'm interested in seeing you, I would like to get to know you better. You just have to be direct what you want. Now, of course, it's up to that other person to decide whether he or she chooses to, talk to you, communicate with you, or what have you. But at least you've made your feelings
Mhm.
known.
Mhm. Okay.
And
Okay. So being direct, making that connection by just being direct, communicating to that person what you want, as far as they're concerned, how you're seeing them, which is a plus because you're pulling from. Because we all kind of went to a side of, it requires selflessness, um, to communicate with someone, just to tell them something, but to connect with them to, hey, I want to get to know you. I think you're gorgeous. I think you this. I think you that, and let's pull that connection, and pull to make that connection stronger. Make that connection stronger. All right. So where were we? Tony, your thoughts? Your.
So I have lots of thoughts, but I'm just going to ask the men in the chat room this question. Okay, if your woman had keys in her hand and she just puts out her arm with keys, what does that mean? She comes up to you. She's got her keys to her car in her hand, and she just extends it towards you. What does that mean? It's a test.
It's for the men. He talking to the brothers.
I'm talking to the brothers. Are you connected? Are you not? What does that mean? It's a nonverbal. No words have been exchanged. Are you connected? Just throw out something. No, what does it mean? What does it mean if your woman?
It depends on what leads up to that. Like, say for instance, you could be, just hypothetically, you could just be laying in the bed and she may say, "Babe, I want to cook today. I need so and so, and then say an hour later, she may just walk up to you with the keys. So let's go to the grocery store. I mean, it just depends on what leads up to that.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Right. Finley, what do you think that means? It could mean multiple things, but what does it mean to you?
It means she going to the grocery store. No.
No. She going to the grocery store or you go to the grocery store?
I knew he was gonna say it. I was
trying not to. Lord. But nah, that to me means that she wants something from the grocery store, I guess. I don't know what, but
Okay. So if you don't know what it means, what would you say? She's not saying nothing. She's just holding the keys out.
If she hands them to me, or she's just holding the keys?
No, she's just holding the keys out. She's looking for you to do something. What you gonna do?
See you when you get back.
Okay, that's good. Kevin, anybody in the chat room want to jump in? Where's Kendrick? Is Kendrick?
I guess with me, I usually just go ahead and drive anyways. Whenever we talk about stuff, I usually end up driving. I don't expect her to drive most of the time.
Okay. Kendrick.
What did you ask? I'm sorry.
Your significant other comes up to you. She has keys in her hand. She just extends her hand towards you. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't hand you the keys. She just has keys in her hand. What does it mean?
I mean, I guess it depends on what the keys are too. If they're to the car, I guess she's asking me to drive.
Yeah, her car. They're to her car.
I guess she's asking me to drive, depending, what I'm saying. But otherwise, I'm going to be like, I'm going to ask her, shoot, I'm not your valet. What the hell you need? I'm damn so going to ask because shit,
Yeah,
what you dangling your keys at me for,
right.
Woman?
So that's connection. You don't know. You ask.
Hell no.
Now I'll tell you what connection is for me and my wife. When she does that to me, that means she's out of gas. She needs gas.
I was about to say the answer is
she needs gas in her car. And I gotta go get gas in her car.
Well, I guess I failed, huh?
No, you didn't fail. You didn't fail because I don't know.
I'm okay with that.
Woman. I don't know your woman. I just know my woman.
Yeah, he asked, "What does that mean to you? What would that mean to you if your woman did that?"
I know. I was just joking.
Yeah.
Who says she becomes a passenger princess?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I different people would have different definitions to that, and
so ladies, why don't you try that? Why don't you try that one day and see if it works?
You better know that, man.
Exactly. That's the point.
But see, that goes back to when it happens, because like for me, I'm just you know, for me, if my lady does that, let's just say on Sunday, then yeah, I know fill a carb at the beginning of the week. But if she does that, say on a Friday night, she may want to just go out ride. Hey, babe, take the keys, let's go out riding. You know, it just all depends on when it happens.
Right. But you're gonna know. But you're gonna know what it is because you're connected, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I like that question. Initially, when you asked Tony, honestly, I knew where you were going. And that's different for everybody. The response will be different for everybody. And y'all didn't give any wrong answers.
No.
So just note that. Y'all didn't give any wrong answers. You gave your answer. And the difference is Tony has been married to his lovely wife. How long?
13 years.
13 years. Kendrick, you're single, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Finley's not single, but he's not married, but he's not single. So he's been in a relationship. How many years, Finley?
You caught me as I was rolling my eyes up. I've been for about 3 years.
3 years. So I see the difference with Tony's answer to you all's answer, which makes sense.
Perfect sense.
But that's a part of building that connection with your person and knowing that if she does that, it's no disrespect to you. It's not saying, you know, your name Benson and where are we going? You know?
I guess it's about knowing each other, because I know I'll be in trouble if I walked up to her and I'm shaking a pair of my drawers in her face. You know what I'm saying? I might that might not go over too well.
I don't know. It depends on that connection.
I need some service.
Depends on that connection.
Hey, it depends on that connection. She know overall her man ain't rude and disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If she knows that, and that was one of the ways because you a jokester. You said it at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Tease and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You throw it at him, I'm gonna look at him. I know you better pick them up, and once you pick them up, come on, follow me. Because I know what that is. There'll be different ways of handling that.
Shoot.
But I like that, Tony. It came out of the box a little bit, but it made you think that, you know, we're talking about coming back to connection. She communicated something by holding the keys out. But that connection with her you understand what that means, and you don't take it disrespectfully. I get it. Yeah.
Now, depending on when she does it, like she's done it at 10 o'clock at night, and you know that doesn't go over too well.
Yeah, that's different.
I still know what it means.
You still know what it means.
Still know what it means, whether I like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what she communicating now. What she gonna get from that communication?
Come on, Miss Daisy, we're going to go get gas.
Now I try to get ahead of that by, you know, hey, you're going out. I see you're going out. Here's my credit card. You know, get you some gas.
Okay. Connection.
It don't work. It doesn't work. So
it
once
doesn't
you do
work.
it, no.
She still wants you to get the gas.
No, you gotta be careful. Once you do it,
hey guys, I gotta head out, but I'm going to talk to you later. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, man.
All right, Kendrick, man.
See you
Nice
later,
talking to you,
Kendrick.
man.
Yeah.
When you and I don't know if Kevin's still in the chat, but I know he didn't answer. Jonathan, did Jonathan answer? I don't think he answered. But it was just to get
answer.
Yeah, it was just you know little game to connect.
I think it was a thought word type game.
Yeah.
You
know, no right or wrong answers. I know at first you probably thought there was a prize at the end or something, but
I was waiting for my Cadillac.
Yeah. Sorry, bro.
All right,
you guys still into Cadillacs? I thought that was all. I thought that was like OG kind of stuff.
Tony on one tonight.
See, I'm trying to refrain from, I got a comeback for everything, but
I know you do. I know you do.
I'm trying to be a better person.
The first time I came in the group, that's how you guys were, man. You was cutting up, and you were real.
That's
I
right.
Real life.
still cut up.
That's right. We still real. We
You
still
can't hurt my
cut
feelings.
up.
You can't hurt
No, I ain't worried about hurting your feelings. I done talked about the salt, so we good.
Corey, what you got, man? What you got? I love y'all. I really do.
I think the best connection starts from within. So my advice and my thoughts are to just do your Kegels. That's it.
I've been
That's
practicing.
right. Do your
Okay.
Kegels. Do your Kegels. Sylvester, I'm not gonna put you on the spot for a closing comment, because I know you came in toward the end, but we did hear your perspective and your thoughts when you first came in. Unless you want to say something, you got something you want to say, you good.
I'm just, hey man, communication is vital.
Okay. All right.
Communication is vital.
It is vital. It's definitely vital.
So
Sure.
I was going to say, he said communication is vital. So do you think that communication will lead to a connection, or do you think that
Hold on. Say that again.
do you think communication will lead? I mean, communication can lead to a connection.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the reason I say that is, you know, we kind of gravitate to people who we communicate well with. And with that being said, it could be a lot of times friendship, and just based off of communication, it leads to a closer connection because you enjoy talking to the person, you kind of relate to that person a lot, and it sometimes leads to communication. I'm sorry, a connection, whether you know the connection is happening or not.
Yeah. Because I think that goes back to what you said a little while ago, Finley. The communication and connection that's like hand in hand. Like you said, you could actually interchange those. And I see your point, what you just said, by interchanging them. You got to, that communication part. While you're communicating, that builds that connection. The more you can talk to that person, the more comfortable you feel with that person. You're gaining that connection because I can talk to you. I can tell you anything. Especially when you can talk to that person, tell them anything, and you don't feel judged by them. You know, they know where all the bodies are buried, and you can still tell them about more bodies, and still
Right.
have that connection. You have that connection. So, I mean, all in all, we have to have the two. If you want growth, if you want a healthy relationship, a healthy friendship, all of it are relationships. If you want that, you have to connect to the other person, and you have to go beyond just the surface level. It has to go beyond the surface level. All right, y'all. So I appreciate y'all tonight. AJ, I see you just popped on. Thank you for coming. And Christy, hey, Dominic. Wow. Yo, Dominic, I knew Dominic when he was a little boy running around behind me and his sister. His sister and I were best friends in junior high school. Man, Dominic, wow. Hey, babe. All right, y'all. Jade, hey, I see you, babe. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part tonight. Um, Everyone that took the time to join us. Next week, Thursday, 8 o'clock p.m. We'll be here again. We can't miss no more, Corey, because we've been off too long. We got to make sure we hit it every week. Every week. So I'd appreciate it if you all go to YouTube Subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you have some topics that you want to discuss and talk about, even if you want to join me on the couch, join the crew, let me know. Go to the YouTube channel and watch the previous lives. We've had some really, really good discussions. Some really good discussions. And starting this year out, no less, no less. All right, y'all. Hey, crew, stay put for me. Good night, everybody.